great stories to tell. Although maybe, but anyway. Today, John B. Gorrie Elementary celebrates 125 years of excellence in Tampa Bay. John B. Gorrie Elementary is the oldest school plant still in operation in Hillsborough County and in the state of Florida. We opened our doors as Hyde Park Grammar School in 1889. At that time, Tampa was a tiny port city, awaiting big things. The earliest mention of the school was in the minutes of the Public Board of Instruction, indicating that the first teacher was assigned to the school on September 3rd, 1889. Let's imagine for a moment what a teacher's life was like in the 1800s. Here are just a few of the written rules as provided to those teachers. Teachers were not allowed to marry or keep company with men. They must be home between the hours of 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. unless attending board functions. Teachers could not travel beyond the city limits unless they had permission from the chairman of the school board. To keep the school neat and clean, you must sweep the floor at least once daily, scrub the floor at least once a week with hot soapy water, clean the blackboards at least once a day, and this one's good. Start the fire at 7 a.m. so the room will be warm by 8 a.m. Needless to say, the lives and expectations of our teachers have changed more than just a little bit. The expectations of our children have evolved too. In this early time, students started their day by saluting the flag and marching to their classrooms. There they recited the Lord's Prayer and heard a message read from the Bible. Although other subjects were taught, the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic, were stressed. There was an emphasis on memory, and students were given a list of spelling words to learn, and everyone was expected to know their multiplication tables by heart. There were no field trips for children, and they learned about nature and science by going fishing or to parks with their parents, and actually spending most of their time outside. With boys and girls, no iPads, iPhones, or electronic games. Can you imagine that? Studies included social studies, geography, and physiology. Good penmanship was of utmost importance. Health and cleanliness were taken quite seriously, as nails and teeth were checked daily. At that time, no one could ever have imagined the way technology would change our lives. Gorrie has had many firsts in its long history. We housed the first hot lunch program in Hillsborough County. Notes from the files of a Tampa historian indicate that Hyde Park Grammar School was inspected in mid-September of 1903 and proclaimed one of the finest schools in the state. On August 2nd, 1915, the Hyde Park Grammar School was renamed John B. Gorrie Elementary after the famous inventor. While Gorrie has a long tradition in Hillsborough County, it is the commitment of excellence by our students, our teachers, and the unwavering support of their parents and the community that have made this historic event possible. We are proud to be the cultural center for our neighborhood. Over the past several weeks, I've had the opportunity to meet and listen to many Gorrie alumni. They have shared pictures of their personal history and wonderful stories of their school days, often mentioning the lifelong friendships which were started within these walls. I've had the opportunity to speak with the contractor, Jim Calmaris, whose company worked on renovations to Gorrie not once but twice over its long history on 2 separate occasions. These conversations have confirmed both the care and love which have bestowed upon our school. Gorrie continues its tradition of academic excellence, and of course we are very proud of our numerous accomplishments. Students still learn reading, writing, and arithmetic, but we also continue our tradition of community service. Gorrie students have recently initiated a Gorrie Cares Service Club, where students work with the residents of Horizon Bay on service projects. This ensures our tradition of students learning the importance of helping others. Our teachers help raise money for Relay for Life and other charities throughout the school year. In fact, our school was recently recognized by the American Cancer Society for the largest donation in the South Tampa area for Relay for Life. Today, students who were trained as docents will lead your tours. They did research after school to learn more about our rich history and culture. We are very proud of them as they will represent the future leaders of our community. You will see artwork around the buildings created by their students, some on their own time, as well as pieces that were created with our art teacher to show the history of Gorrie throughout the decades. Some of our students and teachers are wearing clothing depicting certain time periods from our 125 years. As you can see, we are very proud of our school and community. Again, I want to thank everyone for his or her effort in making this special day happen. Without our parent volunteers and our teacher support, things like this just don't come together, so thank you. And please join together in helping us celebrate this wonderful occasion. It is truly a great honor for me to be the principal of John B. Gorrie Elementary. Before our program from our chorus, I would like to introduce the previous principals from John B. Gorrie Elementary, and I would ask them to stand and be recognized. Did Mrs. George come in? No. Dr. David Binney? No. Mrs. Marilyn Whitner? And Mrs. Louise Harris Downing. I would also like to invite any former Gorrie teachers in our audience to please stand and be recognized. And of course, I will ask all of our alumni to please stand and be recognized. I want to take a moment and ask our children and teachers who dressed in time period clothing for the occasion to please stand. They worked hard on the costumes. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming to celebrate with us. And I am going to turn the program over to our music teachers, Ms. Lamb and Dr. Jeffress, to carry on.